up, guys? Mr. Second Passport here. Today I'm going to share an important part of a process that I'm personally going through right now, and that is how to buy or sell a property in Ecuador from abroad, right? In my case, I'm buying a property, more on this in a future video, but I'm buying a property here in Ecuador from someone who lives in the US and is in the US, right? But they're the owner here in Ecuador. Now, they're kind of elderly, so they don't really want to travel to Ecuador just for this transaction. So what can they do? It's actually a pretty easy process. It's not as hard as you'd think. The first step is you need to draw up one of these power of attorneys, preferably with an Ecuadorian lawyer, right? Someone who knows what they're doing, and they just draw it up. And down here it's called a poder especial. So especial means special power of attorney is like a one-time thing that you're giving someone here in Ecuador authorization to sign for you in this one-time deal, right? So you can get this poder especial drawn up, and this is the first step, is you need to draw this up, specifying who's giving the power to whom, to sign for whom, and for what deal, right? It's all specified right in the power of attorney itself that you draw up. But it's only like a page and a half document. And once it's drawn up, obviously it needs to be in Spanish, but it can have a translation in English on the side. Once you have that drawn up, the next step is to make an appointment for the seller, in this case, to go to a consulate, an Ecuadorian consulate, the closest one to them, right? Wherever they are, maybe in Canada, maybe in the US, Europe, right? Find out. It's pretty easy with the Google search where the nearest Ecuador consulate is, and then there's actually quite a few of them in the US, and then you go, and the next step is to make an appointment, right? Before you go. So the next step, once you have the power of attorney drawn up, or in this case the special power of attorney, like in my case, an example of how you do this is, like, the seller is selling to me here in Ecuador. Since they don't really know anyone they can trust, so to speak, here in Ecuador, but they kind of know me, what they've elected to do is give me the power of attorney to sign for them over to myself, right, as the buyer. So that's one way you could do this, right? If you know someone you can trust in Ecuador, being a seller abroad, then obviously that's easier. You could give them the power of attorney to sign for you to the new person who's buying. But again, it's totally up to you and to your specific circumstances. So once you have the power of attorney drawn up in Spanish, then in the certain way that they like it down here, then you got to go to this website. It's super hard to find, even if you speak Spanish. So I'll leave a link to it in the description below this video. Okay, it's this link here where you need to go. Is you select the consulate where you need to go, right? Miami, Minneapolis, Murcia, Spain, wherever you need to go. The whole world seems to be on this portal, and then you click what you need to do. Maybe it's get an Ecuadorian passport. Probably not for our case, but this is the second one that concerns us when we're buying or selling property here in Ecuador, and that's the poderes y actos notariales exteriores. So to like make a power of attorney, it's a quite common thing, right? Or something general like the civil registry or something also you can do in these consulates. So you just select where you want to go, and you select what you want to do, and then you click next. I won't go all through it. It asks for a couple basic things from you, like your birth date and your name, and then it shows you the dates available on a nice little calendar, and you click on it. Super easy. It sends a confirm link to your email. You click the confirm link, and then it sends you the appointment attached to the email that you print off so that you have, and you can show them the day of your appointment. So you make the power of attorney, then you make the appointment in the Ecuadorian consulate nearest you. And the last thing to keep in mind is when you go in there, a lot of times these people that are working in there because they kind of know somebody, right? It's not what they know, it's who they know, especially for these type of jobs in Ecuador. If you know Ecuador, you know what I'm saying. So a lot of times it just happened to me and the seller. The seller will walk in there, and then these people working in there will tell them one thing, but that's not true, and that's not what we need here in Ecuador in order to do the property transaction. So in this case, right, you have to pay extra careful attention to if the deed of the property, right, this is what's happening to me, says that the seller is married here in Ecuador, then you need both their signatures, okay? Even if these people in the consulate say, like they just did to the seller, no, don't worry about it, we'll just put you on there, right? So now the seller has to go back, and that's kind of the step we're in, and do it again, right? We had to redo the power and to include the wives' names as the consulate wanted, and now they have to go. Now the seller has to go back and do this process again, take another appointment, so that both the seller and his wife can sign. Because if not, once they DHL it to you, because you do need the originals down here in Ecuador, once they DHL you the power of attorney, you could have issues in the property registrar and the municipal down here when you're trying to register the transaction, and maybe even in the notary itself too, before you even get that far as the municipal and the registrar registering the new deed. So if someone's married, make sure both of them sign, or you're not going to be able to do the transaction, right? So, and if they bought the property married and now they're divorced, then it gets a little convoluted, and you're going to need a lawyer's opinion on that one, right? You might need like a divorce decree or something. You might need that apostilled. It could be a big hassle, and then you have to weigh if you really want to do the property transaction or not, really, at that point. But if the wife is still in the picture, or the husband, right, of the person selling to you, then it's a lot easier, and make sure that they both sign, right? That's the number 3 point I want to make in this video today. So that is how you can sell or buy a property in Ecuador from a distance by giving POA or power of attorney to someone here in Ecuador to sign for you through through an Ecuadorian made document, preferably by someone who knows, and then taking that to one of the Ecuadorian consulates abroad and having them legalize it for you, and then DHLing it back here to Ecuador to complete the transaction. So that's kind of the whole process. I'm Mr. Second Passport. If you like that, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button below. Take care.